Tonight on the Cooligans, we are discussing Serie A a little bit. Not good things. We're talking about Lazio and some of the ridiculous and absolutely insane comments coming from their president.
That's right. Plus, we talked to Aaron West about everything from CBS, Champions League, some of his old gigs, and why he treats fantasy and Ultimate Team the same way some people treat dating apps. That and more today on the Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Yes. Look, I'm just adding to the compilation.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
Yup. And I'm Alexis Guerreros.
All right. We are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that you have ever witnessed.
And it's also the goaliest. I'm just trying to match your increase in pitch. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yes. A lot to talk about today. We're excited about our guest today because it is going to be Aaron West, the homie of Champions League on CBS. Of La Liga, of just just on our contact list on our phones,
of our hearts.
So we're excited to talk about him. We talked to him, but we have a lot.
We're also talking about him. To his face, though. To his face. We respect him.
Say it to my face. I'm like, yeah, cool. All right, we're doing it.
That's what I'm doing. So you can stop asking so aggressively. In fact, I'm meaning to talk to you about this.
Let's start today with some controversy, some drama.
You know how we start. We spill some tea, baby.
Okay. And we start with Serie A, right? And when it seems, look, we don't talk about Serie A that much, but whenever we do, it's always something bad.
If we're bringing it up, it's probably not good. We're never like, let's talk about Serie A today. We're like, yo, bro, we got to talk about Serie A today. That's how we do it.
Because it's gotten past the point where it's getting too bad. It has to be addressed. So we're not talking about Serie A as much as we are addressing Serie A today, right?
Yeah.
So that is, the news out of Lazio, right? And then obviously...
There's so many things when we say Lazio that you're probably thinking what could have gone wrong, right? Is it the fans again?
No, but it's COVID related, and this is I didn't expect to see this. Look, maybe that's just me being naive. I didn't think anybody would really try to game the system with this highly contagious, deadly disease.
It feels like an idea I had, right?
Yeah. Did they reach out to Alexis to really try to get around the rules?
Because what happened is Lazio gets into Champions League. Hey, that's wonderful, right? Mm-hmm. That's amazing. So Champions League has its own protocol, own rules, right? So they test for COVID, right? But Lazio back in Serie A's like, you'll handle that, right? And they're like, bro, I got you. You know? That's like when your girl's like, yo, did you pay that electricity bill? Absolutely. The reason we have no lights must be a mistake elsewhere. I'll just go take care of that real quick.
Honey, I can't see you. I don't know where
I feel like you're angry just based on your tone. You know what I mean? But I can't really see it. They faked COVID negative tests in Serie A. And the reason they got caught is because Champions League is like, we got our own guy. And they're like, no.
Don't
use our guy.
This is not only, we can laugh about it a little bit, but it's obviously very, very serious. This is
wildly dangerous.
Very dangerous. You're putting a lot of people in danger. They tested positive in Champions League, tested negative in Serie A.
And the thing is, they let the players who tested positive play in Serie A.
Yeah.
While they were still positive by pretending they were fake. Now, when you have an issue, who do you go? You go to the top, right? You want some common sense. You go to the president, right? And Lazio's president is
not our president. Okay.
No. Well, I mean, actually, pretty similar to our current. The Lazio's president's name is Claudio Lotito, which translated to English is Rudy Giuliani.
I see it. I hear it.
Right. So clearly from the same lineage in the Italians there. So for Rudy, he says, I told you it's like a magic trick. What even is positive?
bro.
Okay, I'm listening. Right? What is positive? No one knows.
Okay, this is how you know you're about to hear a lie, and it's just really you're just compounding on it.
That's the finesse beginning, right? And then he said, positive means contagious, right? Everyone agrees. Yes, that's how you draw them in with a couple of easy yeses.
Yeah.
And then you say, there are bacteria in the vaginas of all women in the world. That doesn't mean that they're pathogens. Only in some cases do they become pathogens and degenerate. Yeah.
Okay, so this is called gaslighting, right?
Yeah.
This is how you start bringing up other things, and you can be like, well, clearly you hate women if you are suggesting that they are all diseased. Wow.
Should we not let women around because they're positive of having? Again, we don't even know what positive means. So again, right? We're just saying this is the most. You are a president of an organization.
Yeah. There's obviously people who are looking to you for some sort of reason and or simply accountability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why did this happen? And yeah. So you hear these quotes, and they're real quotes. The fact that as soon as you're seeing stuff like that, you're like, oh, they've been lying probably for months about this whole thing.
You're big guilty, huh? Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, CEO of Chevy, your cars are exploding. Hey, sometimes women's vaginas explode when they're having babies. You know? Makes no sense.
Wow. Okay. So the criminality is actually at a level I really didn't expect. But
I gotta be honest, everything needs to be recalled, not just your cars. We got more when we get back after this. Baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC, and don't forget we got Aaron West coming up. CBS All Access, CBS Digital, CBS's Lunchroom. He's everywhere, dude. Dude's filling up his coffee. He's got a lot of work to do. He's been hired by a lot of organizations within CBS. So we talk about some serious things from time to time, and obviously when it comes to things that involve especially women in this sport and anyone, minorities in sport. Obviously, it's very near and dear to our hearts. And a big investigation has just been completed.
That's right. The news, and some people may have seen this a couple weeks ago. The NYCFC, there was an accusation from a former intern about sexual harassment and verbal abuse.
And misconduct in general.
Yes. And David Villa was the figure mentioned and named in the accusation. And it was obviously a shock. Right, a lot of people when they hear the name David Villa, it is a legendary figure in not just NYCFC in Spain, and so when you hear this, everybody was like really taken aback because they never really thought or heard of David Villa acting in any way that was inappropriate. But the investigation has been completed. NYCFC they interviewed based on the statement about 40 people, plenty of women in the organization, and it seems that the allegations were true. And
they found it to be true, and they actually went above and beyond, and they even said that they found other people were involved. It wasn't just David Villa, and there's one person in particular who still works at the organization from that time, who has also been disciplined. So look, I mean, when something like this happens, I think all of us are sort of sitting back and waiting and saying, let's see how serious it's taken. And I'm glad to see that it was taken serious. And hopefully this gives an opportunity to women that are going to be a part of the game in the future, especially at clubs like NYCFC or other clubs across MLS and America, especially here, we take these things serious and they should not be happening and don't happen in the future. Yeah,
I think, and that's an important thing to highlight, that of how common, not just in sports. I mean, women have to deal with a lot of people in general, but there is there is harassment. There is a thing about conduct has to be really taken into. It has to be put. There has to be accountability. There has to be a lot of thought into how you treat your peers, and bullying an intern and all this other stuff. Like sometimes people don't think of whether you're a absolutely famous figure or not. Like there has to be that decency and that empathy of like, yeah, this person could be an intern, but I care about their feelings and I'm not just here to sort of tease them to the point of like mental abuse. Yeah. Yeah. So look, it is. I'm glad to hear that there was an investigation. There was some answers, and we'll sort of see what happens with sort of the future for David Villa for that level of accountability. I think we're still waiting to kind of maybe hear a statement on his part. He does have a team that he is building in Queensboro, so there has to be. I think we want to see that accountability. So yeah. I'm hoping that goes forward. All right. We have more coming up right after this.
Hi, I'm Yael Averbush.
Hi, I'm Gloria Averbush, and we got Gully with the Cooligans.
Baby, and we back on a Cooligans Living Room FC, and our guest is almost here. This is exciting. This is like when we said, well, we have you as a guest. Okay, we start to go through your family tree, my G. Okay, we have everybody on.
Okay, this interview is going to be sponsored by Ancestry.com. Okay?
It's 23 of this person's family and us is the name of the website we used. So we look. When we had Yael and Gloria Averbush on, right, we talked glowingly about this human being, all right, because not only is he someone that we absolutely love to see his content, but he's also a friend, all right? We've hung out with this gentleman, all right? Mm-hmm. We had him on our show as the third Cooligan for the entire episode.
That's right. Yeah, he watched me get nutmegged by Aleko Eskandarian, you know?
I heard his laughter from all the way from Pier 40, where I was standing when it happened. And in the videos afterwards, no one looked happier than you guys. It's almost as if I was there. Okay. So sometimes he's been my proxy, you know? Now if you're wondering, who am I talking about? Just picture every time Champions League moves to a different channel, he is the carry-on luggage that goes along with it. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you're driving, and if you are, pull over and put your hands together for the one, the only, he ain't going nowhere. He is a part of Champions League forever. And ladies and gentlemen, Aaron West.
Aaron, what's up, man?
What is going on? I've never been described as carry-on luggage and it not be disrespectful. Like,
no, you want to be. You're in the Louis Vuitton, suitcase.
It's a very nice one.
I feel like a Gucci bag right now. Wow.
With the battery, you gotta take out.
Yeah, I can charge my laptop for days, baby. Let's go.
Aaron, look, obviously we're homies. It's an honor to have you on the television show. Finally, yes, we. It's strange to be like, yeah, we had your mother-in-law before we had you on. So it happened. That's just the way it worked out. But Aaron, you are a man who is currently blessed with a new daughter. Yes. You are booked. You are busy. There is nothing, for Alexis and I. There's nothing better than seeing our friends thrive. How is? Let's start with fatherhood, bruh. What is? It's very new. How old is your daughter now? It's been a month, maybe.
She's just over a month, man. It's incredible, man. Like I personally, I love kids. Like I've always loved kids. Like I'm a preacher's kid, and like growing up, it was always like, oh, there's some new kids in the church. Send them to Aaron. He'll take care of them. And I've always like babysat. So I've like always wanted kids, and I finally got one of my own. And like she spit up on me twice earlier today, and I was just like, that's my baby. That's crazy.
Yeah. Not on the throwback kit.
No. We don't hold the baby when we're wearing nice jerseys. I'm a smart man. We don't hold the baby when we're wearing nice things. But no, it's been amazing, man. Like this is like it's so dope. She like looks at me and smiles, and I'm like, all right, cool. What do you want me to do? I got you. Yeah, you want me to kill a man? Oh, I got you. Yeah, I'll do it.
Dude, you're gonna be the easiest dad to a teenage daughter.
Oh my god! Dude.
No, you can't borrow the car. Big smile, be like, you know what? Let's go get you a car.
I think you need 2 cars.
I'm not gonna let you borrow the car. What happens if you need it when I'm not around? Let's go buy you one. Come on.
Yeah.
The other thing, obviously, is the news. You know, obviously, you were covering Champions League with Bleacher Report, and now you are doing that with CBS Sports. What is this? You know, the introduction video was great. The introduction graphic. I mean, CBS really they got the graphics department.
I was like, is he playing creative attacking midfielder?
Wait, I do have to clarify this one. So CBS didn't put the graphic out. That was actually my agency, CSE, which has similar like letters. Everyone was like, damn, they really put out like a signing graphic for you. And I was like,
yeah, dude.
Okay, that's great too. That's even better, probably. You know, that the agency is looking out.
Everyone was like, yo, who are you roasting in that picture? Like, you fired up.
It looks like the photo you use when like a tech startup genius is about to come on stage at some, you know, tech conference. It's like, you know, and they're like, I gotta listen to this guy. You know?
No, but the great thing was obviously you already did a bunch of great work covering the different Champions League games, like traveling all over Europe. What was
which you can't really do anymore?
I know, right? Obviously, the nature of your work might be a little bit different, might be the same. I don't know, but what are you sort of looking forward to as far as this time around and covering Champions League for this season?
I'm looking forward to like just kind of how comprehensive it is at CBS. For Bleacher, I was literally just covering. I was doing the show out here. I loved doing that show. It was great. We did a lot of great content. But for CBS, it's a little bit more comprehensive for me. Like I'm working with CBS HQ. I'm working with the digital team. I'll be working with TV. I'll be working with the podcast team. Like so. Kind of across the board with CBS and like more fully involved and just kind of I get to tell these stories in different ways. Whereas with Bleacher, it was just the Out Here show that like went to digital and got dropped into the main show. Now I'll be able to if I want to sit down with a player or if I want to do a short interview, I can cover these things in a whole different way and like way more in depth. And especially now I'm excited about that because like, obviously things are changed. We're doing this show from our living room. I'm not like sitting in the studio with you guys. But
you're
now
not in the middle of a civil war in Greece. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you don't got to do all that either.
I'm not about to get pieced up by some Greek thugs. So that's nice. But yeah, it's just it's a little bit different. I will be doing a lot of the same things I did at Bleacher. So like those same kind of feature stories that like flesh out clubs and flesh out players and culture and things like that. I'll still be doing. But just even more well-rounded, like fully fleshed out, even more content, basically. You're going to see a lot more from me, which I'm excited about.
When you look at what you've had to offer now, we've known you from way back from when you were just doing stuff on YouTube to now. And one of the things that I think stands out about you is you have a very unique voice. And that's how you ask questions through your vision. And you ask questions that are important when it comes to culture and stuff, to stuff that you recognize. And you see, how do you see that progressing into something like CBS, which, you know, for the most part, when it comes to sports, they're very traditional.
That's one of the big things I'm really, really excited about. Bleacher was really like, they pushed the boundaries a lot and kind of stepping out of the traditional and working with CBS, they are known for doing the traditional very well, but working directly with Pete Radovich, he's won like 30 something Emmys and he loves to do things outside of the box. Like it was his idea for me to come on live with the baby. He like loves to just try things that might not be the typical linear television thing. So I'm excited to get that like knowledge base of working with a more traditional company, but also like I do have the freedom. Like when they hired me, they were like, we hired you because you're you. Like, so I'm excited to be able to still be me, but just learn more.
Yeah, you can do post-game interviews and talk about pistol whipping. Not many people can offer that. So I'm glad CBS recognized that and I'm bringing that on board.
That screen cap has been used so many times. It's wonderful.
All right, we got so much more with Aaron West. I'll come right back after this. NYCFC did win the game 2-1, so we didn't get to see well, at least we got to see a goal, and we got to experience the duping.
That's what they sing when they score a goal.
We're not making fun of anyone. No, that's what they say and what they sing. It's dope. The energy out in talent, and
it's dope.
Welcome back to the Cooligans. We are with Aaron West of La Liga, of Champions League on CBS Sports.
Anything with the word league attached to it, he's getting a paycheck.
No, I did. I want to talk a little bit about La Liga as well, because you've been covering and doing a show for them as well. You and Kevin Egan, also the homie, the Irish homie, right? Yep. So he loves it when we call him that. Literally the first time we ever called him that.
He Googles it every time.
But we talk about La Liga. Sometimes I feel like we don't talk about La Liga enough, and we definitely gone to like events and been a part of like different like installations at different events and things like that. But I always and not to be overly critical, but like. Sometimes people, when they think of La Liga, they think of Messi, right? They think of Barcelona, they think of Real Madrid. Yeah. And I love your show because at least we get to hear a bit more and in more detail about the other clubs and the other teams. Right. Barcelona, Real Madrid are not in first place right now, but you wouldn't even really sort of know that because that's people's focus on those two teams. So what has that been like, kind of getting into a bit more depth about La Liga and learning more about it?
It's been dope. I've been a La Liga fan for a really, really long time. It's one of the first leagues I started watching. It's a league that like regularly, even before working with them, I just like always watch La Liga. I'm just a soccer nerd in general. I try to watch as much as possible, but I've always just appreciated La Liga because as a league as a whole, like I don't think there's a more technical league they're out there. Like there's just the individual quality of these players on a regular basis. It's like, it's insane. So for me to be able to work with La Liga was really exciting. It's like, it was dope for me because I'm pretty sure I'm like the first black host they've ever had. But I was sitting there, I was like, feels good. I'm not gonna lie, this one feels good.
Yeah. For Spain, not really a shock though.
not a shock. But I was excited to work with him just because I actually enjoy the league just as a whole, like not just like towing the party line, like, oh, I love this league because I work for them, but I actually like enjoy watching the game. So for me, it's dope to be able to like flesh it out a little bit more for people who don't watch it regularly and all they think of is, like you said, it's Messi, Barcelona. Before it was Cristiano, Real Madrid. Like there are a lot of really talented players. Like the play on a regular basis is really, really sexy. I'm not gonna lie. So it's been a lot of fun for me to like not just like do what I normally do and watch La Liga, but like have a reason to watch teams that I might not normally watch and get to explore more players in that way. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like to focus on La Liga has the outside of Dominican Republic has the highest concentration of Dominicans that play soccer. So I'm like,
which can be counted on one hand. I don't want anyone to think
there's not that many of them.
For those of you who don't focus on La Liga, it's not an onslaught of Dominican talent.
Who else do we have? We got Mariano.
Firpo, obviously, Firpo, Junior Firpo at Barcelona. Those are like the huge ones.
Firpo.
There's a couple other
because he has Spanish nationality, but he is. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, he was born in see, that's the thing. Like Mariano was born in Spain.
This whole show is going to be about this now.
Dominican parents, right?
Then after the next break, he's going to be wrapped in a flag.
I get upset because Firpo was born in DR but doesn't want to represent Dominican Republic. I understand. If you have the choice,
neither would you. Neither would you, Christian.
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
that one reminds me of when people were mad at like Giuseppe Rossi for getting called up to Italy and being like, "Yeah, I'll go." Everyone's like, "He's a traitor. Why wouldn't you stay and play for us?"
I'm still upset Giuseppe Rossi did not play for Dominican Republic. I really wish he would have done
that. Giuseppe, you traitor.
You traitor. You're dead to me. You're dead to me, Giuseppe.
I was big mad with the whole Giuseppe Rossi thing, but if you ask me like, yo, you want to go play a game in Milan or in Columbus, Ohio, I'd be like, nah, you know what? I might need a minute to make this decision.
Let me at least talk to Nonna. Let me talk to Nonna and see what she thinks.
Right. an espresso or a Dunkin' Donuts. I think I might go espresso.
Yeah.
When you look at what's happening in the world, and we're hearing news about possible vaccines and stuff, is there a plan for you to hopefully travel to some of these matches in Europe? Some of the content that you did, even when you were at Bleacher, was so incredible because you really got that like a true behind the scenes. It's not like a sort of a pared down or a sterilized behind the scenes of like no, the players all sit on these couches and allow us to interview them all the time. Like you actually got on the bus with Shakhtar and you were doing all these wonderful things. Like, is that the goal for you to be able to do those things again?
Yeah. So for now, obviously things are a little bit different because of COVID. And that's one of the good things about the flexibility I have. Like with my last gig, like I was just sidelined because I wasn't able to do anything unless I was overseas interviewing people. Now I'm able to contribute digitally. I'm able to do interviews, things like that. But the plan is like for the next couple months, I'll be here staying safe. But when the new year rolls around, I should be, hopefully we'll see some numbers start to go down. But by the new year is when I'm hopefully planning to start getting over to Europe, getting those interviews, like getting embedded with, actually just literally right before this call, I had a production meeting. So we're talking about some of those things. I'm excited about the new year. It's been good though, because it's just an intelligent process so far with CBS. Everything has been very out in the open. We understand that COVID has changed everything, but it's flexible. So it's been good to be part of this process so far and just jump right in with both feet.
Well, I'm glad. Simply, I'm glad that we have, a new administration hopefully coming in office to get this stuff over soon, so that we can get Aaron doing his job comfortably and being able to travel. So hopefully that happens soon. All right, we got so much more with Aaron West, so please come right back after this.
Hi, this is Jim Curtin, head coach of the Philadelphia Union, and I am the first head coach to kick it with the Cooligans.
All right, baby, and we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC, and obviously we're here with Aaron West of CBS Sports, covering all the dope Champions League stuff. Now,
I'm also being married to Yael Averbuch,
which is top of the list of
I don't see a Techni shirt behind you, Christian. You couldn't even put one up,
right?
Yo, wow, wildly disrespectful,
right?
Wild. I think I saw a message floating around that you were going to ask him to do it, but he just refused.
I mean, sometimes Christian is just like a dick like that. Dude.
I'm gonna tell my wife about that. I'm gonna tell my wife. She's gonna see this. She's gonna see this.
Just don't tell Gloria. She'll be so upset. I use the app though. Yeah. Huge fan of Techni Football.
That I do not. I will not. I refuse to. It involves exercise. Not a fan. When you look at how your career is progressing, right, dude? You went from like writing about soccer to being in front of the camera. Everyone's next step, and this obviously many years away, but behind the camera, are you going to maybe get an opportunity to make suggestions about some of the content that you can make, and what are some of the ideas that you have? Like, if you could, what would you do now that you have the engine at CBS that you haven't had anywhere? I mean, this is Viacom we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's a big old machine. Like, what are some of the things that you would love to do?
Yeah, one of the important things that I wanted to do in my next gig after Turner was have a little bit of like say in the content I make, a little bit of say in the strategy. So I will be involved with the CBS like social strategy, the strategy for how we talk about Champions League, for how we talk about these players, these clubs. So that's something that like it's one of those things where when I was younger, like I didn't want any responsibility. I just wanted to do my thing. I don't want you to leave me alone. And I love being a writer. Like I was in LA, like I would come in, I would go into the office like 2-3 days a week, 4 days a week. I'd work from home. I work for my boxers. Like I wear my boxers. Like I wouldn't answer to anyone except I just do my stuff and get out. But the older I get, like the more I feel like I'm black in this business where there are not many black people. I am colored in this business where there's not many colored people. And so I feel I feel like I have a responsibility to create space for people behind me, to make space for people who talk like me, who look like me, who don't necessarily fit the like traditional quote unquote structure of media. I think I like very strongly believe I have a responsibility to make that path. And for our strategy, for the way that we talk about this game in this country, specifically the way we talk about it at CBS. Like that's a massive goal for me, is to just continue to create space for people who look like us, talk like us, and think like us, because that's the future. That's the future of this country. That's the future of this game. And
if things are going right, it's the future.
I mean, to be honest, like even if they're not, like the numbers don't lie. It is the future. Whether the establishment wants to accept it or not, like they can't do anything about it. So the good thing is that I feel really like empowered by CBS to make that happen, to kind of push everything forward. CBS was like very open in talking. They were like, we haven't done soccer in 30 something years, but the way that they approach this is they want to get the best people, they want to learn, and they always want to move forward. So I'm really excited to be part of that process. I'm excited to help CBS move forward and help just this country move forward, like with the sport and with media representation and everything, man. That's my goal, is just keep pushing everything forward.
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people, including myself and Alexis, we see you as this, not necessarily, you mentioned about having this responsibility to kind of be that representation, but it's for us as well, right? Like we kind of vibe off each other. Like I see you, whether it's a tweet, whether it's like, putting your own spin or take on a goal or a game or anything, it does feel like, I wish there were more Black voices within this game, because especially in this country, there's just like it's so different than Europe, right? Where it's just like there's teams. There's everyone on the England national team is Black. Well, I mean, not everybody literally, but but you know what I mean. It's just like the way the hip hop community, let's say in England, soccer is. That's it's as normal to talk about in the same sentence, to talk about hip hop and soccer. But here it would be very strange for when people are uncomfortable. Like, yo, why you bring up soccer when I'm just trying to talk about my top 5 rappers? You know what I mean?
Dude, Aaron, you're one of 47 people that get our hip hop references. You know what I mean? In the soccer media world, it's like a very different world. But when we started, we specifically said, like, we want to open the doors for the people that talk like us and act like us and think like us, because they weren't in soccer. And a lot of the people that we spoke to when we started were like, well, no one was doing that, so I didn't think there was a place. And it's like, so we'll start doing it. And it's great to see that you're also just like, nah, let me open them doors.
As soon as I met you guys, I was like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm talking about, is people who like talk like me, think like me, are minorities in this space. Like, and when I tweet about soccer, when I talk about soccer, I want anyone to be able to be like, oh, that's dope. I understand that. Like, I don't want to use language that like excludes people. The way that I talk about the game is that, like, if you have eyes, or if you can get this information somewhere, you don't even have to have eyes. However you get the information, I want you to be able to empathize with it. I want you to like rock with this. Like, I don't want you to feel left out of this sport just because you didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, and that's a significant part, because especially in this country, there's a lot of people who maybe have family that liked it but didn't get a chance to really get involved in the sport. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and the other thing I want to add as well, and give you more praise, is obviously you are married to someone who played on the U.S. Women's National Team, but you also worked on the World Cup coverage last year for the Women's World Cup, and that was also the last time you were.
Hold on, that was last year. That feels like that was 50 years ago.
I literally, like, when he was like last year, I was like, you sure, bro?
Oh my god!
I think Christian has a traumatic brain injury. That was not last year.
Like Charlie, remember that was weeks ago. That was weeks ago, Charlie. Dude, I was party.
2020 might be the longest decade of all time.
Oh my god!
And you are an advocate and a supporter of soccer, regardless of the gender that is playing the game. And you obviously you have a daughter. Clearly, she is going to be indoctrinated, and that's where we appreciate it. But we need it. But it's all good. But what was covering that World Cup like, from the sense of it's also like being a fan of the game, being a fan of women playing the game, and being a man doing that, like it, and being a Black man doing that. Like people see that and there's like, oh, okay, I'm not one, they might be shocked by the whatever, any preconceived notions they had about women playing the game, but then just having you as an arbiter kind of talking about the game, what was that quote unquote responsibility, and then how fun was it as well?
Yeah, man, that was really, really exciting for me because, like you said, like I've been a fan of just soccer forever. Like I grew up in Chapel Hill, so I grew up in the home of like women's soccer. Basically, I grew up like going to the UNC women's games. I lived 5-10 minutes from the training field. When I would go out and train, like UNC would be out there training. I like trained with some of the women's players growing up. Like I've always had a like really, really strong appreciation and love for overall soccer, but especially women's soccer. I've always had that appreciation. I've always followed the game. And then just like kind of through the years, it just like kept growing and growing. Like I just followed the game. I became friends with players. I started dating a player on the team. Living in Chapel Hill, like a lot of these UNC players end up going to the national team, end up being pros. So just like being in Chapel Hill for years, I met and became friends with a lot of them. So I was just like very steeped in the women's soccer world already. And then to get the opportunity to work with Fox for the World Cup was massive because I didn't have a job at the time. I had left Copa. I was like, I was freelancing, and that was a big opportunity for me. The opportunity to be able to talk about the women's game on a massive stage like that was huge. And to be able to kind of just bring my excitement that I've always had for it and to translate that to other people. And to let, like, the biggest thing is soccer is a beautiful sport. There are some differences, like in most women can't dunk in the WNBA. So people try to say it's a different sport. But women's soccer and men's soccer are two of the most analogous with both genders, like two of the most analogous sports there are. Like there is no difference almost. Skill is skill. Like, and the fact that people try to deny that women's soccer is a skilled sport is just blows my mind in general. But one of the biggest things about women's soccer is it needs exposure. It needs people to see it so that they can give people money so that you can put more money in the game so it continues to get better. That's how things work. When you put more into it and their stakes are higher, things get better in general. So you're seeing more money going into the women's game. You're seeing players getting better on a regular basis. You're seeing incredible products. So for me, going back to like be able to showcase that at the Women's World Cup with some of the, especially with the level of talent that was at that World Cup, like the games were incredible. The atmosphere was incredible. Being able to like be part of that. And at this point, especially like I was pretty good friends with a few players on the national team. So it was really interesting for me to like be talking to them through the tournament. And especially like one of my really good friends is Crystal Dunn. And for her, like I had a massive personal stake in that one for me. Like she's like my sister. And because she missed the previous World Cup, because there was so much talk about her playing out of position, so much talk about like, is she a striker? Is she a defender? Like, where does she fit? Like she's been overlooked. Like, there were like every time she played, like I think I was like probably just as nervous as like her blood family. So for me, watching that team, like with the people that I knew, with Megan Rapinoe, with Alex Morgan, all those people that I've known for like a decade, to see them go through all that, see the media and Donald Trump and everyone like slate them so much and come through that adversity, and then being able to be part of it at the same time, like that was incredible. Like one of the coolest moments of my entire life was being able to stand on the field, like right after they won. There's a moment when like Jess McDonald's like, she's got like the flag, she's dancing, and she like spots me on the field and she comes running over because she was on our show for Copa 90, like literally, I think 4 months before. And she didn't think she was going to make the squad. And then like, she comes running over. She was like, I didn't think I was going to be here. And like, it was like one of the coolest moments I've ever had. Like she just won the World Cup. She came over to be like, yo, I did not think I was going to be here. Can you believe this? Like that was everything, man. And I got the whole damn World Cup afterwards. Like, cause I'm good friends with Aaron Heifetz, who's like the media officer for US Soccer. So I was like in the tunnel afterwards, and he's there, like everyone's celebrating. He's like, hey man, gonna hold the trophy? And I was like, Yeah.
After they woke you up, like, do you still want to hold the trophy? You fell, dude.
All right, we got so much more left with Aaron West. Please come right back.
NWSL legend Yael Averbush.
And I'm her husband, Aaron West.
And we wanted to congratulate the Cooligans on 100 episodes on the Fubo Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Gloria Averbush, soccer mom, soccer author, Cooligans fan. Thanks for all the laughs in the fandom. Keep the gully going.
Stay gully.
All right, welcome back, everybody. That was obviously...
You just got Gloria Bomb.
Obviously, when this originally happened, when we originally saw this was obviously great. Thank you so much for doing this.
This is great.
Kind of celebrating a
got, like,
100
real tears in my eyes.
episode. But what was this? Whose idea was the have Gloria pop out on screen?
Oh, it was Gloria's idea. 100% Gloria's idea.
Good.
You know what? I felt that in my soul that this was a Gloria-directed decision.
This is a Gloria production. So let me break down how this worked. This day, we were like, we had hired a photographer to do like maternity photos. I was like, I feel like I should, for like once, like do like a real traditional thing, and like we should get pictures. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So we went out. We were there for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, and right at the end, I was like, we got to do this thing for the Cooligans. Let's. And Gloria was out there. She was taking care of the dog and helping us out with the shoot. And so they're like, yeah, we got to do this. Like, yeah, and her mom were like, how do we get you worked in? And Gloria was like, I got the idea. I'm going to pop up at the end. And so we shot it like probably 2 or 3 times. I was so tired by this because you guys know me. I don't love people. I don't love being outside. We'd been out for like 2-3 hours. I was hungry. And I was like, all right, we're going to shoot this. I love the Cooligans, but let's get this done quickly. So like we go to it, and 2 times she like pops up so early. It was great. She like pops her head up. She's like, I'm Gloria Averbush. You know I love the Cooligans. Third time with the charm, though. We knocked it out perfectly. She was so excited to do this for you guys. It was incredible.
She's the best. She is the best.
Keep the gully going has been. I tell myself that every morning.
That should be like on a scarf. Bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So another thing I wanted to before we wrap up, I wanted to talk to you about this because you are my FIFA Ultimate Team guru, okay?
Yeah.
You are.
He's the only person between the 3 of us who knows anything about FIFA Ultimate Team.
I started playing FIFA Ultimate Team during like the beginning of the lockdown. I had never ever played it before. I didn't really even understand.
I told you not to do it, by the way. No. It's on wax, and I told you not to do it.
And now I got all these needle marks on my arm.
And he's stealing his mom's credit card to buy players, just like all the kids.
I need FIFA points, Mom. Anyway, but I love the way you talk about your experience with FIFA because it is not only is it entertaining. You don't even like you do stream from time to time, but I just love your Twitter account about FIFA Ultimate Team because you focus so much on like getting players and things like that. But
he also treats it like. He also treats it the way like single women in their 20s treat like dating apps. It's like, I'm deleting it. Yeah. I'm done. And then like, you know what? I'm back.
I can't.
I'm lonely. I need something.
What is that?
I tried to be with me.
I dated myself and we just broke up. I'm back in.
What is the emotional experience like for you with FIFA? Because I know for me it is like a way to like get away from it all, but then sometimes FIFA is it all. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating.
FIFA is the best way to put it is it's my main competitive outlet. Like I don't play anymore. I can't play pickup right now, so I can't go outside and just kick the shit out of someone. I can't like walk down the street and I am an insanely competitive person, and so I have to be like competing at something on a regular basis. And I don't play my friends at things. I don't compete with my friends. I don't compete with Yael in general over things because I'm a terrible loser. I'm wildly competitive, and I'm like the type of person that like when I beat you, I want to like make you feel it, and like so I'm a bad winner. I'm a terrible loser. I'm a bad winner. So I know this about myself. So I do not like compete with friends. So for me, Ultimate Team is that outlet. Like that's where I get my competitiveness. Like I'm obsessed with soccer, and I love like squad building in general. So like I was always obsessed with Football Manager, still love Football Manager. But now with Ultimate Team, I like get that ability to like build squads and do that, but I also get to play with them. So it's like, it's kind of all wrapped up. So I can like get the competitiveness out. I can like build my squads. I can have fun. And I've always loved FIFA just in general. Plus it works for work. Like it's part of my content creation now. So it's kind of like everything. But the bad part about it is because I'm so competitive, because I'm like very obsessive about things, wildly obsessive about things. And I'm a terrible loser. Like, yeah, you're going to lose in FIFA. Like that's how it works. Like you're just going to lose. And so I have like had to work with myself to like manage the addiction and like not play too often, like not play certain game. Like I rarely play weekend league. I backslid this weekend and played.
Relapsed.
Yeah.
But I like if I ever
you
feel
FIFA
like,
lapsed.
I relapsed. I had to turn.
We gotta get you a FIFA therapist. That's what we need.
I'm starting on day 0. Honestly, I need a FIFA. I do. Like it's like, especially it's gotten a lot worse. Like, well, technically it's gotten better because I used to be way worse. I used to get real pissed off, and now I'm like, I've got a kid. I'm like a little bit older. I'm happier in my job, so I don't like need FIFA to like make me
less
happy.
responsibility you put on a video game shoulders. Like, very nice of you, Aaron. We got more with Aaron West when we get back after this.
Exactly.
We did it again. Another episode in the book. Thank you so much, Aaron West, for joining us. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's a shame we can't do this in person. We're long overdue for a hug.
This didn't even feel like TV. It felt like finally hanging out again. So it was great.
Exactly. Aaron, is there anything you want to let people know about before we sign off?
2 things. First of all, when I see you guys, I'm gonna kiss you both in the mouth.
Let's go. Three-way kiss.
Yeah, dude. Spaghetti between all of them.
Just like all kinds of tongue.
Yael's just holding the baby like, did something just happen?
What happened? What did I miss? No, it's always a pleasure being on with you boys. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Do not stop. Yeah, right now I am working with La Liga. I'm working with CBS. You can find all my La Liga stuff on the La Liga socials at La Liga. CBS, I'll be on CBS HQ. I'll be on CBS All Access. Be on CBS TV whenever I start doing stuff, which will be very soon. On socials, you can find me on Twitter at Oeste, OESTE, and on Instagram at AYYY_West, AE West. And again, man, I appreciate you guys so much. This was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again.
All right, it was great. Thank you so much. All right, and everybody, make sure you follow us at Soccer Cooligans. Follow at Fubo Sports on all socials. Make sure to subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for full episodes of the program, our program, and other programs.
It's getting huge
as well. Exactly. Yes, they're doing some great work. All right, so let us end the show the way we normally do, as is tradition. So for Aaron West, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we? The Cooligans!